What's up, my weepsters? It's your boy, Legend Vash. And no, from the title, as you can see, as the thumbnail, as you guys can see, we have another review. And no, I'm not Himmel the Hero, but I can tell you some great stories about the show, of my experience of watching Frieren beyond Journey to the End, and how the series genuinely entertained me, and how it put me a smile from episode 1 to 28. Yes, if you guys haven't watched the show, it's from 1 to 28, not 1 to 24, like I thought, 1 to 26, like it was for Demon Slayer. It was 1 to 28, and a few of those episodes was like 28 minutes. But honestly, that was really cool. It was something very different from many shows that don't do this, that has a full 28. Like some shows have less. In Rumokun, they have 21 episodes. So it's really cool about that. And talking about Frieren, I was very late in the game. I did not watch it when it was huge in 2024, 2025 with its full 28 episodes. I jumped late, but I finally did binge it, season 1, because season 2 was approaching right now in this winter season, and we're talking about it on our show Off the Bench on a weekly season. We're already on episode 2 by then, or episode 3. So guys, go check out our episodes. Time codes are there always for discussion. So quick plug for our show, for our seasonal anime podcast. But at the end of the day, I had no regret for the binge, but the one regret that I did have is that I wish I did watch it sooner. But if you're watching this right now and haven't seen Frieren yet, please do yourself a favor and go check it out. I highly recommend it. I'll give you some score up for right now. It's at 9.5 out of 10 for me. I really did enjoy this very much. Very good show, and it stand out much better than expected, and I really did enjoy it. So if you guys want to know more, let's get to it. And now let's get into the characters. Frieren herself reminds me a lot of the Western style elves or long living beings, characters who live so long their emotions either fade or become muted or never fully develop because they have already experienced so much loss over time, and that this becomes their armor. They were comfortable, like a few shows that I will mention. Torchwood. We also have the Seven Deadly Sins. You could say what you want about the later arcs, the later stories, but they did express that for Meliodas being alive for 3,000 years and going through his own trauma from his parents and from his in-laws, and having his spouse by going through their own trauma and their own trial of tribulation. And we also have a show that I want to recommend, The Witcher. First 3 seasons are great. Season 4, haven't seen it, but if you guys know the story, you guys know why. But there's many other reasons for that and many other variables. But those are great 3 reasons for those shows that are comparable when it comes to long living characters and when it comes to their mentality and their emotions. And talking about those characters and talking about those series, Frieren feels very similar to characters like I mentioned, Geralt of Rivia from The Witcher. I'll be honest, I never played the game as well and read the books, but that quiet, emotionally reserved presence is there. And shout out to Mega Graham from Off the Bench podcast, because he told me Frieren reminds him of Gandalf from Lord of the Rings. If I'm wrong with the character, my apologies, Frieren. My apologies, Graham. I should have checked it with you, but if I am correct with the character, +1 for me. And now I absolutely cannot unsee it when you think about it, and that comparison fits perfectly when it comes to long living characters and the characters of expressing themselves later on. You could pick and choose if you like the character of Frieren or not. There's some people I met that don't, and there's some people like myself or like me and others that have been enjoying the characters as is, because we see them growing and developing, reminiscing, and seeing the other stuff that they have experienced from past to present and future. I gotta say this, Hyder, you damn swine fool. This man absolutely tricked Frieren into raising his child, the person that he adopted at his old age, and she didn't even clock it until very much later at the end when she finally put 2 and 2 together. And the moment was hilarious when she was like, hey, I did train her. She could go along with her journey. I did say this type of requirement, and you know, you got me into making those requirements be accomplished. Fern though is an absolutely character. She's incredible, and she's loyal, student, disciplined, and emotionally grounded. Watching her defeat Qual using his own magic and then casually calling a basic attack magic was insane. That spell was considered one of the strongest magic 80 years ago, and she disrespected him like that because she learned that from her own master Frieren. She is like that. Frieren took that same personality because of master and student relationship. What I love about Fern is that she continues impressing Frieren over time, and when given the chance to become serious student during the magic exam at the end of that arc, she turned it down. She chose to continue learning from her current master instead of the lawyer to Frieren knew the answer. She said, hey, it's open up to you to choose, but we already know the answer. And Frieren just was at awe when Fern was just there, and her eyes would say, I see it in fluctuating. And Frieren just got happy about that because nobody barely noticed that. So that's something that outshine for her. It keep very much shine. And now let's talk about the other newest member of the hero party, of the new hero party that is in the making, is Stark. Yes, I'm calling him the hero because Stark mentor was Aizen. From master to student, they're going to become the next generation. And the relationship hit harder than expected. Aizen reacted out of fear of Stark, and that fear turned into regret. Neither of them communicated properly, and their misunderstanding shaped Stark into confident for years because he was questioning his strength. He was questioning his abandonment from Aizen telling him to leave, and Aizen never communicated like, hey, I did this because of fear. You have a stronger power than what I'm teaching you and what you will become. And like I said, Chad, he is the hero. I believe that he will be the one that will be pulling the sword out of the rock, out of the hero village. They will be the one that will be having that sword being pulled from Stark. That's my assumption because I feel like they're teasing that. The camera shine season 1 showing that he might be, I feel like he wants to go back one day when they go back down. I don't know. I feel like we will be going to that direction. If they have shown that in the manga, I'm unaware. I'm not a manga reader and I don't plan to, but I feel like that would be a cool direction for him. Him being there and showing that he is also scared to run like Aizen. And Fern and Frieren accept that because Frieren has gone through that with Aizen himself. In the party, he said, yo guys, I'm afraid to fight right now. I want to leave. And him was like, word, we out. If that's how you feel, we cannot have you force yourself and be in this battle when you feel like you're hesitant. Let's have you fully 100%. And Himmel concur, gave the idea, they all ran away, and everyone accepted that. To me, that's a mission accomplished in that aspect. A big shout out to the character that we didn't get to see stay with the hero party or have more memories with them, more moments. Hopefully we get to re-see them in the next future episodes or seasons of Frieren. Is Kraft, our priest from the Snowy Mountains. A big shout out to Sign, our drunken genius priest. I wish he stayed longer, but he has his own story to tell. So best of luck to him, and hopefully get to find his friend that has been lost for the last 10 years that never returned after he said he would return for 3 years. So he was a genius. Hopefully we find another priest that could stay with them because they need one. However, a shout out to Duncan, Uba, Lon, I believe, Kaney are the 2 girls, and Werble. They were absolutely highlight of the A-Rank Mage Exam arc and left strong impressions for me. I really enjoyed the characters, their arcs, and each of them their own reason why they want to be A-Rank Mage. We got Duncan and Werble also being A-Rank. They got approved when they enter. I love how they both thought of trying to fight Cyril. I love how they both thought about it and just like, yeah, that ain't the best decision. I shouldn't do that. And Cyril just enjoyed that, laugh about that, like, yeah, that's adorable. You guys try to do that, but hey, you know what? Approve. And a big shout out as well on top of the characters. Now I want to say before I do the last segment of story and the key moments is the dub experience. I was feeling entirely in English dub, and honestly it was excellent. The voice cast set the tone perfectly, the pacing felt natural, emotions moment landed, and the sound mixing was clean throughout the series. I wish fearing English dub was sound my cast because I would love to watch it, and not saying I prefer one or the other, just both are excellent when it comes to the execution of the show and putting across the character's voice and the monotone. The translation work was also deserved praise. On-screen text was handled well, and nothing felt awkward or distracting whether you watch sub or dub. Genuinely, you can't go wrong whichever you want. So I recommend for anybody to experience it for dub. If you haven't, enjoy it. And now on the last segment of the story and key moments, like I mentioned earlier, Frieren journey is simple on the surface but heavy in meaning. She's traveling with the north to the demon castle and appears to believe to be the closest to heaven because she wants to meet one last time Flemmo. From the book she read at the tree, she said, if you want to have one last conversation, I meet with my old friends, those people I used to be with, and I met them in this location in the northern lands. But along the way, she brings Fern and Stark with her journey. What makes the journey special is how often the characters are allowed to admit fear, almost say I'm scared, but also learning about emotion, learning how to communicate. Where Frieren tried to get a gift for Fern's birthday, she tried to hide it, like never try to be secretive. Fern is the one that's trying to be secretive because she's trying to see where you're going, what's going on. And then Stark gets a gift for Fern as well, for like, hey, I'm sorry I messed up. This is a gift from your birthday and not my birthday. We help each other out. So that's really adorable of how they do their best as companionship, but also as a family, because they know their roles as mages and a frontliner, but they're also family on the road to getting to know each other, also be one another. You know, honestly, Fern is like a G to be waking up your own master at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. She's not a morning person. Look, I'm an evening night person, but if I gotta be up in the morning, cool, I'll be up. I need to be up at 7 a.m. is what it is. But if I could, I'll be waking up at 10 to 12 every day if I could, and go to sleep at 5 in the morning. I feel like that's just a perfect reasonable time. But life don't work like that. So I know, Frieren, I see you. I wish I was you too. I get you. You have somebody to wake you up. I got somebody like that too. A big shout out to wifey. One of my favorite moments in the story of season 1 was Frieren and Fern taking a call, made Mage teamwork look effortlessly. Frieren defeating Aura in pure satisfaction, which was amazing. Aura really thought she had the upper hand, but she got caught on 4K locking. She's like, oh, you are a 500-year-old demon that has all this magic built up and you can defeat me, understood. But I'm a 1,000-year-old and I got much more that I've been hiding, and you are a bitch that I won't even waste my time on you. And the line was, go kill yourself. Instead of me killing you, you go KYS yourself. It's crazy. Like, truly remarkable. And meeting one of the other dwarfs, continued living the memory of his wife who passed away hundreds of years ago, was emotional in the quietest way possible. I love that storytelling. It was really beautiful, because just showing that, like, just the memory, just being there, and other people just appreciate it, just knowing that we have somebody to protect the village, and nonetheless, they don't know, he doesn't know, but they appreciate the momentum, the moment that they could just live in this village in peace just because of him. So that's a great pleasure that anybody can enjoy. And Frieren just enjoys the talking, the smiling, and they both enjoy each other, so that was amazing. One of my favorite arcs was the A-Rank Mage Exam arc. Completely caught me off guard because I didn't expect that. And for a 20-episode series, Andy came out together flawlessly. The music, the sound design, and the character writing and the pacing all worked well. We lost a few mages that could have been worth something. There was a cool fight scene. Frieren was also, you know, teaching these 2 predominant students that have a future. So that was really amazing that all these people had possibilities, and we found their intertwining story. Warbo, I'm sure we're going to see him again. I know he's going to be at the Northern already. They say, hey, we will see you there. We might see in season 2. Only time will tell. One of the last things of the key moments of this season was, throughout the season, the comedy between Fern and Stark is adorable. The slow build towards something romantic feels natural. They are working together. We saw the birthday of one. One is 18 years old, the other is 16. And it's just a relationship of Stark constantly catching the short end of the stick, while Fern is upset and having to make it up never gets old. Like, it's just adorable, where Stark is asking Fern, I need help, I don't know what's going on, and then Frieren asking Stark, can you be the, you know, the middle person, help us out, because she's mad at me, she won't talk, and we need to get this shit over with and fix it, because I'm kind of fuck in that type of avenue. So it just feels very flawlessly. Oh, one more thing, I was genuinely sad when Sign left. He was a great addition to the party. We had a great priest, a drunken one to continue the story of Hitler, and when he found out that, oh, you're like the same like Hitler, he's also a drunken master type of priest, but he couldn't believe it. Like, damn, he was never the person that came out like that. Yeah, looks are deceiving. He gotta act professional, proper around the people, but then when you were at the party with your friends, he just act a drunken person because he could just do what he gotta do. In some type of flashbacks, we saw him, Heim was saying, oh, he has a day off. It was normal for them to do this, so it was a normal relationship, but it just shows that Sign, the moment that they was fighting the plant beast, and he had to wake up Frieren for 5 seconds. Frieren did that, destroyed that shit, because she already knew the target, what it was, and how to take it out of the execution. So it was flawlessly enjoyed. But like I said, with all these thoughts, as my final is, Frieren belongs in the same conversation of stories as The Witcher, 70 Sins, Torchwood, series that when it comes to characters with the type of emotion and exploring long-living characters who lose their emotions as either through punishment, trauma, or simply outliving the people around them that they love, where they can't even speak to them, because humans live up to 100 years old max when you're living healthy and long, but then when you're living in a fantasy sci-fi world, that doesn't always work like that. When you have characters like this, it builds that journey along with them, and it builds the connection and, you know, rekindle stuff. Frieren asks a simple but powerful question. What if happiness doesn't come early? What if it comes late, when the right people finally walk into life? The series understood loss, memory, growth, and acceptance better than the most anime I've seen in years. Whether you're watching Japanese or English, Frieren is absolutely worth your time, and I truly have enjoyed from episode 1 to 28. I'm enjoying talking about with my my team on Off the Bench of episode 1, episode 2, and 3, and so on. We will have the discussion. I know when it comes to the end of this year, which is the best CCAT/fantasy series of this year, it's going to be tough because we have Jobless, we have Slime, many of the big series coming out this year alone. So I'm here for the CCAT. I'm known in the Off the Bench team that the long title lover for long title is CCAT and fantasy series. So I'm all here for it. Tell me what you guys think of Frieren the season 1. Have you guys been enjoying season 2 as well during the release of the winter season? Have you guys been having a good time? Let me know. Talk about it. And if you guys haven't, you know, comment, like, subscribe, enjoy the fantasy world, go watch Off the Bench, Weeps Lounge, our conversational podcast, and our Shonen Ronin, our manga podcast. Other than that, everyone, thank you guys for watching. Have a good time, and I'll see you in the next review of ReZero, Trigon, and then we have the past one, Percy Jackson. Hope you guys enjoy all these, and let me know what else you guys want to hear in a scripted format, analysis, quick thoughts, reaction, anything you guys want me to talk about. Let me know. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.